Looks like YouTube is picking it up. Perfect. Yes. Go live. Okay, we are officially live now. Public stream. Are we public? I believe so. Yes, we are. All right. This is going pretty well so far, I think. Hopefully the quality is good for you guys. Today, we're actually going to be fixing my 3D printer. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's just right here. It's going to be really weird to try to focus in on this because my camera's like off to the side. So I do apologize if I have trouble getting this to like focus correctly. But on here, you can see this little guy right here, this little hole. There's actually a heat sensor that's supposed to be in there, and it's missing. So today we will be fixing that, and hopefully this stream isn't too long, but I just already know it's going to be a really long stream. So let's get going. Be prepared for a long stream, though. Let me grab the part here. It's off to the side, but it has my address, like my shipping address on it and stuff, so cannot really show that to you guys, unfortunately. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab the part that we need, the actual heat sensor. It's called a thermistor. So in case you need to do this exact same thing yourself with the same printer, it's going to be called a thermistor. The printer itself will be linked in the description below if you'd like to go and get one for yourself. Hopefully you'll never have to do this. This is actually my fault that this is happening. So yeah, if you buy this printer, which like I said is linked in the description, you should have no issues with it. Anyway, this is the actual part that we need. I'm not sure how much the camera's gonna like focusing on that. Yeah, it's not gonna focus. Oh yeah, it will. There it is. It's really small. So we're gonna be messing with this thing today and trying to get it working. I think we're gonna have to disassemble this thing first though, because we're gonna have to do some soldering and all that kind of stuff. So we'll do all that today. I do have a soldering iron, so that shouldn't be an issue. Or to save time, I could just tape it. No, I'm joking. Let's go ahead and get started. Let me grab my scissors really quick here, as we will need those for this little process. And this thing is extremely delicate, and it's not exactly cheap. This thing right here is $6. Not saying that's expensive. I'm just saying for this little thing, it's a little crazy. Anyway, we're just going to go ahead and pull it out here. Sorry if there are some times in the stream where I don't talk very much. Okay, so this model, I guess, is a tiny bit different than the one I used to buy. Or, well, I bought this once before, and then I broke it. So, maybe this is just a different one, I don't know. But with my old one, these two were actually together. Like, you had to cut them, so that's why I had my scissors. I am going to save this in case we need it for the wiring later. I'm not quite sure. We'll see, though. So we'll go ahead and start taking this thing apart. I'm not quite sure how easy it's going to be or how difficult it's going to be. We're going to find out here together. Sorry, I just bumped my microphone. I'll go ahead and grab the screwdriver that we will use and then the actual bit itself. And I don't know why these things have come out of their little spots. Okay, iFixit ProTech Toolkit. It's a really great toolkit, and I highly recommend it if you're doing any kind of technology stuff with taking stuff apart. Highly recommend that toolkit. It's a really good one. We're going to go ahead and just unscrew these. I think we're going to need something here. Let me grab those. You guys are going to cringe. These things are really big, so sorry. Let's just go ahead and get straight into it. I'm not even going to do much of an intro. I know I kind of already have, but sorry, I guess. I wanted to do this stream for a pretty long time, but this part just now came in, so it wasn't really possible until this part came in. So let me just try to do this. Obviously, I'm going to fail because I'm streaming, but you never know. Like I said, I'm sorry if there are parts where I don't talk or if I don't really have much to say, because this is a project that I do, or that I might do, for fun, you know what I mean? Like, where I wouldn't really talk to anyone, I would just kind of do it on my own time. And I cannot seem to get these things to latch on here. So this is going to be a pain. This is probably the worst part. Some of you guys are going to have better tools than me if you're doing this or this kind of stuff, but I don't, so, well, I do, but I don't really feel like going and looking for all that stuff, so this is fine. This isn't that bad. So we're just going to take this thing apart. This is called a hot end, by the way, or at least that's what CME calls it. They call it the hot end. This is the older Peak hot end. If you know about CME, you would know about that hot end. But for those of you who don't, it's just the older hot end. Still works just fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just older. And I do plan to upgrade to the newer HE series hot end. So that'll be fun, that upgrade process. I'm not quite sure what all advantages and disadvantages that one has, but I know that it is slightly better than this one. We're just going to go ahead and set this stuff over here. And then we will move on to the next little screw here. This screwdriver is really a lifesaver, and I'll go into it a little bit later in this stream or video for those of you who are watching this later in time. I'm actually streaming this on the 22nd of August in 2019 here. So if you're watching this in 2020 or even in the future or even more, just know that I have streamed this video on August 22nd, 2019. Okay, so maybe you're watching this far in the future and YouTube is still somehow a thing, and this isn't even a thing anymore. 3D printers may not be a thing. I don't even know. I do enjoy 3D printing though. Actually, a lot of y'all don't know, but I do have a life just like everybody else. So YouTube isn't everything for me. I'm into all sorts of stuff. So I'm also in a band. I'm playing percussion. I might start doing drumming videos. I have a drum set, so we'll see. I don't know. That's up to y'all, really. I don't really care. I'll record it. I've got the equipment to do so, but it's up to y'all whether or not you want to see that. But yeah. Let me know, and then I can start recording. Sorry if I bumped my microphone. My microphone's literally like right here. You guys can't see it's off camera, but it's literally like right behind the camera. So that's that. And this is really being a pain. By the way, use smaller tools if you're doing stuff like this. This is like literally the worst experience I've ever had. It wasn't that I've taken this thing apart in the past just to kind of get prepared for this stream. And it wasn't even this bad, so I don't know what the deal is. But I may end up having to go and grab something else. I'm not quite sure. We'll see, though. I'm just hoping it works after I'm finished. I think it will. This isn't that complicated of a process, or this process isn't that complicated. But it is certainly a pain, and I really don't enjoy doing it. But it's really only one time. And I think really what's making me not enjoy this is the tools I have to work with. They're not the greatest for stuff like that, or for stuff like this. But like I said, it's only one time, so shouldn't be a huge deal. I may end up moving my microphone up a little bit, actually, because it is kind of in my way. Okay, we're just going to do this. Hopefully y'all can see everything. I try to position my camera in a way where it's not in my way, but it's also easy enough for y'all to still see stuff. So, if you guys are watching this in the future, comment below. Or if you're watching this, right now as it's live, drop a little thing in the chat. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay, I think that was it. Perfect. Alright, it is able to fully come apart now. Let me just grab everything here. Alright. Those are all the screws and nuts and stuff. Okay. This is what we're going to be working with now. It doesn't need to come apart any further for this process. We'll go ahead and do a temporary wiring setup here. Just for now, I'm just going to use the tape I may solder later if I feel like it. But really, it doesn't matter that much. You don't really have to solder. If you want it to be a nice long-term solution, yeah, maybe. But for me, I like projects like this, so I may not do the soldering part. Anyway, we're just going to go ahead and cut this in half, just like that. And we are going to set this all up here. Okay, so I'm just going to try and put this plastic covering around this copper here. I don't think anything would fry if these two copper wires touched, but just to be on the safe side, this is not a cheap printer by any means, so we're just going to do exactly what I'm doing right here. Oh, you know what? Oh, no, never mind. I thought I was going to have to cut the end off that. Alrighty. There we go. So now we've got some protective stuff over the wires here. Now what we're actually going to do is grab a couple of small pieces of tape. We don't need much tape at all for this, actually. What we're going to do, this is going to be really hard for me to explain to you guys. But we're going to, so you see right here, sorry, I got to position it. Right here you can see there's copper, but then there's the plastic stuff right here, right? We're going to put some tape in between the two. So I'm going to show y'all here. Just like so, just because it'll stick better, with the copper and all that. So we're just going to simply do it just like so. Like I said, if you're doing this at home with the same printer, good luck, actually. I didn't say that last time, but good luck. It's not that hard. It looks really challenging on camera, but it's not that bad at all. So, nothing to worry about. Really, something like this won't break your printer if you don't do it right. It's not going to break your printer. I promise you. This is like super basic stuff. It's not going to break your printer. If it does break your printer, I'm really surprised because it shouldn't. And it won't. So, nothing to worry about. Some of this wiring is a little weird right now. Let me see if I can get this right. I think I might have come a little bit too close to the edge there. That's okay. Sorry if you guys can't really tell what I'm doing. I'm just doing tape stuff, just to get the wiring all set up right here, so that it'll be usable. Know what I mean? Cool. Okay. There we go. We are now done with all that. So we now get to actually do the wiring, which is not the easiest thing in the world, I'll admit, but it's not hard. There is no positive and negative for this. The wires are different colors, I know. But you guys can see right here. No, you can't. You guys can see right here. We have these two wires. There's a white one, and then there's a green one. Not sure how well y'all can see that. There's like a kind of bluish green, and then a white. They're not positive and negative, okay? Just want to go ahead and get that out of the way. There is no positive and negative for this. This is literally just basic wiring. Really doesn't even matter. So, I didn't give myself much wire to work with here, but that's okay. I'm thinking it should still work without that much wiring. And if it doesn't work, then that's just bad luck on camera. You know what I mean? Happens to everyone. At least it should happen to everyone. So we're just going to wrap that around there. Sorry if this stream is boring for those of you who don't have a 3D printer. It's pretty fun though, for me at least. So we've got that one wire there. We're going to grab some tape. Like I said, this is sort of like a temporary solution. If you were planning to do this for long term, never just tape something. I mean, you can. It's not that bad, but use electrical tape at least. In my opinion, at least. You don't really want to do this with Scotch tape. But it's just tape. It's not the end of the world if you don't have any electrical tape. You can just go get some. It's not very expensive. Or you can just use Scotch tape, I guess. Perfect. Okay, I think that should be pretty good. I'll go ahead and tell you all the story of why I had to purchase one of these. I was doing this exact thing, just without the whole streaming part, not too long ago. And what happened is I actually pulled one of these wires and it broke. So I had to purchase another one. These things aren't that bad, like I said, but they're also a little overpriced in my opinion. So it's not expensive, but it's not really the cheapest thing either. So it looks like this is coming loose a little bit here. Just do my best to fix that. Perfect. Okay. This is definitely a pain. Hopefully you never have to do this if you buy this printer. It really should never happen. Those newer ones, the one I linked in the description is the same one that I have, and it's one of the newer ones. You should never have to do this. And I'm sorry, it's not the same one. Mine's like one version lower than that. I forget exactly which one I linked for you guys. There are lots of different ones. I linked the one that was as close as I could get to mine, though. It's the same brand, same model, basically. You know what's really cool about this printer? So there are like some cheaper printers on eBay and stuff that are brand new, sure, but they're, low end ones, and they still 3D print. There's really no huge difference, minus quality. Quality's a big one. But yeah, printers like that, you'll notice there are lots of different brands that are advertising the exact same printer. Don't buy those. I mean, you can, but it's really just not a great idea because they're not going to last very long. The print quality is really going to be very poor on something like that. It's just not worth your money. But it's up to you. It's your money. You buy whatever you want. I'm just giving you my personal suggestion, which is not to buy one. I recommend brands like Simi CNC is a really good one. There's the Ultimaker. I'm not sure who makes that. Maybe the brand is Ultimaker. I don't know. That's a printer. That's a bit more on the expensive end, though. There's a Dremel 3D printer, which is also a pretty decent one. Not the best, but very good printer. And then there are some other brands out there that I have not mentioned that are also good. It's not that they're not good. It's just... Oh, actually, one more. For you beginners out there, Monoprice makes some decent ones. They're not amazing, but the print quality is not too bad, so might be a decent option. All right, wiring is done. Now it's just a matter of getting it into its spot. This is the hard part. So if you thought the first part that we did was hard, you're really in for a treat here because I'm going to be complaining and complaining here. So just get ready for that. This is not something I really enjoy. I don't believe this is how I broke it, but if it is, I am truly scared. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out a way to get that to go in and stay. I'll do tape for now. I'm gonna come back in with some rubber material. Like you see this orange stuff, same stuff. You forget exactly what it's called, but they sell it at like auto parts stores and stuff. It's not too bad, but it's kind of a pain to deal with. But once it dries up and gets into the spot where you need it, no big deal. Okay. This is really not very fun, but you gotta do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? If you're setting up a 3D printer, you need to do what you need to do. This tape's gonna melt, by the way. If you're doing tape, don't do electrical tape for this part. Maybe do Scotch tape because it's a little easier to clean up whenever it melts. I'm not saying it will, I'm just saying it will. It's probably going to. Make sure you got a lot of tape for something like this if you're using tape. Not that I suggest you use tape. I'm doing it because it's easiest right now in the moment because I don't want to do soldering and I don't want to mess with that rubber stuff that you guys can see here. Oh, no, you can't. Sorry. Right here, this orange rubber stuff. I don't really want to mess with that right now. All right, so in just a moment, I'm going to switch my camera angle. It might take a second because we're live streaming, but I'm going to install this into the printer and we will begin printing. This should work. I'm really expecting it to work. We'll see. I'm just hoping the temperatures are accurate. Not too sure about that. We're going to find out. I don't want this thing to heat up way more than it needs to. In fact, that's actually a big concern. I just not thought about that. Let me fix that really quick. Okay. Let's try it. Let's go ahead and put it back in its little thing and let's get really scared until we find out that it's broken or that it works. You never know. I think it's going to work. I mean, at least the wiring portion. I'm not sure how accurate the temperatures are going to be with this, just because my wiring and my setup here is not particularly amazing. But it should be good enough to print a couple of things, and then we'll start having issues. So that should be just fine. I'm just kidding. Okay, let me go ahead and do this here. Gonna put this thing together. Yeah. That's not too bad, right? Let me adjust the camera a little bit. Okay. Let's go ahead and put this thing together here. Sorry for those of you who have to watch this. I know it's a really boring stream, but I thought you guys might enjoy seeing this. I don't know. Okay, that hurts. Alright. Time to screw this thing all together. And something, no, never mind. I almost thought something just broke, but that was just me. Some of the tape just came undone. That's okay. Whenever this thing heats up for the first time, it's gonna melt this tape onto it. So it'll, or at least in my mind it will. I don't know how good Scotch tape is with heat. Oh, we've already got a problem. Okay. That is a pretty big issue. I should have thought about that, but I didn't. This little thermistor, like I was talking about earlier, the heat sensor for some of y'all, is now in the wrong place. Which is not totally fine. You thought I was going to say that, didn't you? Nope. Okay, something happened to the tape. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the tape right now. Alright. This is an extremely temporary solution, by the way, guys. Don't do this. When you're doing stuff like this, make sure you get a soldering iron or some kind of better way to, heat shrink tubing. If you're not quite in the market for a soldering iron, they are they're not a lot of money, but they're not exactly cheap. You can get some cheap ones that'll work. They'll do the job for this just fine. But if you don't really want to buy a soldering iron, you can always run to your local hardware store or if you have some kind of electronics store, I'm sure they'll have heat shrink tubing for sale, because that is a very popular option for those out there that don't really want to buy a soldering iron. Okay, that should be accurate enough for temps and stuff. I'm not expecting anything amazing, you know, but it'll do the job just fine. I need a welding machine. Change a water pump on a Jeep Wrangler. I do not. I do not know how to do that. And for a welding machine, I have a soldering iron, which is better for wiring stuff like this. But it depends on your situation. If you're doing bigger wires and stuff, then you'll probably want something a little more powerful. But a welding machine would probably be more for if you're building like some kind of little buggy or something for off-roading or something like that. You can weld your panels and stuff together with your car. Yeah, something like this doesn't really need a welding machine. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, that one's almost screwed in. Alright, let's go ahead and do the next one. This will be the last one, then we're going to be testing it, which is very exciting. I'm really hoping it works because I'm streaming. I think it will. It'll at least turn on. That's cool. Alright. We're just about done, guys. And then I'm gonna make the screen go black, and then I'm gonna pop back in with a different camera angle. So that'll be nice. So we'll just go ahead and tighten this up here. Alright, that's done. Let's go ahead and test it. Let's do that way. Is this my microphone? Okay, sorry guys, I didn't mean for that to be in the shot. I'm gonna go ahead and make y'all's screen go black. I'm sorry, but it's just the way it has to be. So just give me one moment here. It's gonna take maybe a couple of it won't take a couple minutes. It'll take me about maybe 1 minute tops to get this thing all wired up. And actually, you know what? Just so that y'all can have something to look at, I'll keep the desk in the shot. Let me go ahead and mount this thing on the printer, and we will see how that works out. Okay, here's my printer. It is working. It is able to heat up and cool down, so that's really awesome. Hopefully I'll have some 3D printing videos coming out soon for you guys. Yeah, there's me. Hey guys. Like I said, it is working, so I should have something coming out soon on it for you guys to see. Thank you so much for watching the stream. I know it was about 30 minutes long, so not exactly a short stream, but you guys got to see me fix my 3D printer. So that's pretty awesome. Like I said, thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.